Okay, well, good morning. Well, apart from Nathan, all of us were at last week's meeting. Well, except Anne.
I forgot.
Missed out. Yeah, it was too early for you, wasn't it? And yeah, so just on Nathan's behalf, I'm going to say what we have been doing over the last, what's 3 years now. So Nathan, we are the TCS maintenance group, and TCS is the Taxon Concept Schema, which a TETRIC standard to what exchange taxonomic information, and it's an old standard, was ratified in 2006, I think, and it was one of the XML schema standards, so you could only deliver it in XML, and so that has meant that most of the data, most of taxonomic data in the last several years has been exchanged using Darwin Core, which can be done in CSV or other formats. Is not restricted to XML, and yeah, so there are a few issues with with Darwin Core and taxonomic data. So about 6 years ago, we decided to have another look into into getting reviewing TCS and getting a good standard for exchanging taxonomic data. And so about 4 years ago, we decided that we were going to revise TCS to a vocabulary standard, just like Darwin Core, that can be managed using the TETRIC vocabulary maintenance standard. So it can be updated. So that's so the TCS maintenance group was established about 4 years ago, and 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, and 3 years ago we established a task group to make the new version of TCS, which is called the TCS2 task group. And so we've been at it for the last 3 years, and it has been TCS is not a big standard, but there's people have very strong opinions, so there's been a lot of discussion, and so it's taken a bit longer than I would have hoped to, and also all of us have lots of other stuff on. So, but now we're almost finished, and so the standard or the term list is pretty much there. This is the schema, and the terms document is here. See, these are all the terms in the under the index of terms. So not a lot, it's less than 40. And quite a few of them are borrowed from Darwin Core. So I think the number of actual TCS terms yeah, in the high 20s. And yeah, so here it all is. We got lots of examples and everything. And yeah, so here there's a lot of work gone in, and a lot of discussion. So I think this one, this is pretty much ready. So we've only got there's 2 documents that need to be written under the vocabulary maintenance standards for significant changes to a standard. That's the feature document and what is it? Implementation experience documents that we're using now. They are being written at the moment. I've started with the feature one. Yeah, so we hope to go to, well, let's say we are going to public review in September, and that's only because I'm going on long service leave in May. So before May, everything should be ready. So we can go to public review in December. No, sorry, September, and that's yeah, right around the time of the what is it? The Spanish that week joint meeting, and yeah, that's really all I can say about it. So
thanks for that. I really appreciate it.
so yeah, there's anybody else have something to add, or do you have, or do people have questions?
You've done a heap of work, Niels, so it's looking good.
Yeah, thank you. I think I might have gone a bit overboard with the examples, but well, just for the document, the examples are always good. They might be a bit mossy. And yeah, so this is the well, I start the feature document. So yeah, I don't have a lot of text, but I have the figures. So can I get rid of you again? Yeah, so now I can see it. Well, so this is TCS. This is what TCS looks at. So this is sort of the entity relationship. So we got these 4 major classes, or the 4 classes. So the 2 major ones, Taxon Concept and Taxon Name, and we have a Taxon Concept mapping class, which is yeah, can be used with you know, subject and object, and those 6 mapping properties, and then yeah, the nomenclature type class, which is linked to the name. And we've actually set up the nomenclature type class in a way that it can be used with you know, specimen data in Darwin Core as well, because that is one of the things that had not been treated in yeah, in the Darwin Core IDF guide. So it's not there's no properties for it in there is a property type status in the Diamond Core IR namespace. So you can, the nomenclature type can be linked to the taxon name via the typified name property, and you can link it to a specimen through the type specimen property, but you can also link it the other way around from the specimen for occurrence data to the Dynamo IRI type status property. You can have this whole object there, and the diamond core type status itself is just a string. When we've got a string in, the other way around in TCS as well. It sits on the taxon name. So it compares really well with the simple knowledge organization system, and it also maps really well to an open to the open biodiff ontology. And yeah, the open biodiff ontology is yes, an ontology for the whole domain, large domain. And well, that's made by a PhD student at well, at the time, PhD student at Pensoft, publisher. Yeah, so in open biodiff, you see that they've got sort of the same classes, and this whole taxonomic article, that's an important part of yeah, open biodiff, because it's basically publication standard, but in it's actually not, that bit is not part of TCS because we linked for that to other standards, or that's the literature. Actually, the cool thing of open biodiff, which I only found out last week when I was reading it again, that it actually defines a taxonomic concept as a work under the Ferber data model, and Ferber, or functional requirements for bibliographic records, is a library standard, or that underlies a library standard or cataloging standard. So it gives a really nice link to the literature. And at the same time, it's also a Scots concept. Yeah, so it takes all the esotericness out of the taxon concept, or taxonomic concept in open biodiff. Because it's it's just a piece of literature. Yeah, it's yeah, they it's sort of defined as you know, intellectual effort by yeah, one or more persons, and so where you can't actually see the yeah, the result is so work is a product of intellectual process of one or more persons, yet only indirect evidence about this with a hand, and that indirect evidence, that's the so that's the expression also in Ferber, and that's a treatment. So the treatment is the expression that realizes the taxonomic concept. I sort of think that's nice because it just fits in a library standard. So this is what I did 2 days ago. So this is the whole mapping of TCS1 via the Tetrick ontology to TCS2 I'm not 100% sure if tables in in Markdown is the best way to do it, but that's how I did it for now. I don't really know about a better way to do it anyway. So that is there. So everything maps well quite well, because that was what we were planning to do. Yeah, one of the because it's such yeah, so strong, such strong opinions, and we really want to get this ratified. We have stuck very close to TCS1, and we don't put anything in that's not in TCS1 yet. So that yeah, we're giving people as little as possible to disagree with, so that hopefully we have a smooth ratification, review and ratification process, and after that, you know, people can make proposals to hang on the things that yeah, they like to see in, and that can be discussed with the whole community. And so you can see that there's also quite a few things that we have not included, and it's also some of it is yeah, it's just the XML syntax, so you don't actually need them anymore, and but other things, so especially the text. Ah, that's nice. I forgot to put them in, but it was this, the under the Taxon concept, you've got the specimen circumscription and the character circumscription, which we put into the hard basket for now, but we hope to tackle after the standard that we ratified. That's, I can't believe I didn't spot that. And yeah, the other thing is, yeah, a lot of those taxon relationships we haven't left out. Some are just, a lot of them are negations of other ones. So we don't use them, and it's not clear what they mean. And and the other ones we just haven't included yet because we have plenty to discuss already. So all these things have become properties now, so they can be easily added if people have a use case here, if people really want it. So one example is anamorph of and stereomorph of. That's a thing in mycology, and I have the feeling it's more about names than Taxon concept. And it used to be a thing in the code, but you know, since 2012, that's not in the code anymore. So, or in the that's a nomenclature code for botany. So there are quite a lot of things about hybrid parents. It's also mostly still about creating a hybrid formula. So those have been left out for now. As people, you know, after this has been ratified, and if there are people who want that in, they can just put a proposal in and we discuss it, and we'll see. But I think it's very much easier to get a new property, a new term in than remove an existing term. So yeah, so we actually we included the things that are absolutely necessary and that are relatively straightforward. And I actually, when I did this mapping, I saw that there's two terms that I actually forgot, and they're straightforward. So I've added them now, and that's the later homonym of, which I just overlooked. And the other thing is the typification. That was the verbatim verbatim typification. We actually discussed it in a meeting at the end of 2022. And we were going to put it in, and then I forgot. So now that's in. And I didn't realize at the time that it was a TCS one already, and I thought it was a new term we made up. So that might be the reason. Yeah, that's really all I've got. Any questions by anyone?
I'm just
So go ahead.
sorry, Niels. I was just trying to remember. Did we have a attribute to say what the type of taxon name was, as in like vernacular, scientific?
No, that's not in TCS, but that's definitely going to be in there eventually because there was a.
So it has to be proposed as a new term.
It's a new term, but there's a high demand for it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as soon as as it's done, we can add it.
Okay.
Or
I was just looking at things I was expecting. That's all, and I couldn't remember where we got to on those things.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that. Yeah, so the term itself is very straightforward.
Yeah.
Obviously, so yeah, the difficulty we get people to agree to vocabulary.
Yeah. Yeah.
For it, because you know, I think we shouldn't just add the term. There should be a vocabulary, at least a high level vocabulary that you can map to.
Yep.
Yeah,
no, that's all right. I was just looking at. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
There's an issue for it.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to search.
And we actually had quite a bit of discussion about it. So yeah, a lot of people want that.
No, that's okay. You answered my question.
Yeah.
So I was just going to comment for those who aren't, who haven't participated in the group in the past, that the TCS is already a standard. And so, you know, if it were a new standard, this would be going through the process for new standards where there would be a review manager and all of that. But since it's actually an existing standard that we're basically turning it into a quote unquote modern standard by conforming to the conventions that we're using in other modern standards, like the form of the term names and following the standards documentation specification and so on. So that's kind of why this group is basically acting in the role of is going to act in the role of like the task group is the author, and the maintenance group, which I guess is what we're doing here, is acting as the review manager. Although a lot of the people in the maintenance group are the same people in the task group, so that's okay. But basically, once the main
Go for it, Steve. Sorry.
I was just going to say, so basically what's going to happen, the task group is going to say to the maintenance group, hey, we're done. The maintenance group is going to look at it and say, yeah, this is done. And then go to public comment, and the maintenance group will basically run that. And then after the public comment period, it'll go to the executive committee, just to make sure that we followed all the right procedures. So it's a little different than like some of the newer standards like Latimer Core, which didn't exist in a previous form. This one is really, it's like an update.
Yeah, but it's a significant update. But the thing is, definitely the TCS maintenance group and the TCS task group. I said they're mostly the same people. There's actually a few more people on the maintenance group who are not on the task group. But as long as we don't have TCS in a maintainable form, there's nothing for the maintenance group to do. So we've said that this well, basically the TCS2 task group, that's the only thing the well, the maintenance group will not do anything else until until we've got what TCS2.
And when this gets ratified, then the task group will basically go away, and it'll be like Darwin Core, or Audiovisual Core, or any of the other standards where the maintenance group will just be handling additions and changes.
Yep. No.
Yeah, and we might spawn other task groups if there's something that we expect entails significant work.
So from this meeting, Niels, what's next? Do we need to do anything, or is it
Well, as the task group, we are going to have the 4 weekly meetings again until everything is ready. Well, until I leave in May. So I think there will be another 3 meetings or something like that, and yeah, basically it's just it's writing those 2 documents. Yeah, the feature document is actually, it doesn't look ready, but it's actually pretty much there. It's just I need to find the inspiration to write some sentences. Well, I need to find the time to actually think about just that and nothing else, which is which is the hardest thing. But yeah, it will get there. I just didn't get it done before today. But yeah, and other than that, it's just well, the introduction and reformatting, formatting the document or the term list in a way that yeah, that standards have to be formatted. So it shouldn't be a lot of work. And yeah, and just tweaking and yeah, it's a shame we only have Nathan who is not on the task group. Well, Steve is not really on the task group either, but he has been coming to some meetings. But yeah, I was actually going to use this forum as an opportunity to tell people, you know, any feedback that you can give us before we start the review. That's yeah, that would be really good. You know, so as little you know, as little as possible surprises when we are going into the review. I like to think everything that has been done is pretty innocuous, but you know, this taxon names, you never know. Yeah, so does anybody want to talk about it? Something else name related? Taxon concept or taxon name related?
No, I think I just need to make some time to do some reading.
Yeah, I need to make some time to do some writing. And yeah, I thought this mapping was all complete, but now I see that I forgot the circumscription. So I have to check that again. So yeah, so this is in another branch, and I've told people at the
I've just
meeting.
yeah, it took me ages to find it, Niels. I just
Yeah,
found it.
Yeah, I thought when it's sort of finished, I do a pull request, so we can actually comment on in the pull request before it can. Well, we can discuss it in the pull request before it goes merged into the master branch. So I've done that for all the documents and the introduction. Yeah, so I would make it a bit hard to find, but
I got there.
but that's the yeah, that's the method behind the madness. Yeah, so if people have any suggestions for these documents as well, that would be good. But we do another meeting in well, task group meeting in well, it will be 3 weeks time now, and Johan has an unlimited Zoom account, so he will set yeah, he will set up the meetings. For us, although last meetings we used Google Meet, and we actually had a short meeting because we weren't kicked out like the time before. So Nathan, I hope this was useful for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a lot of it's way over my head. I have pretty surface level interest in all this. So, but the more I hear discussing about it, the better for me. So, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for showing up. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, would have been just be another task group meeting. But
Hey, I do what I can.
oh, Ben just arrived as well. Did you just arrive, Ben?
No, I was eating. I got fit lunch and dinner somewhere, so
Oh.
I've been here. I've been watching. I just have my camera off,
Well, thanks
which
for
I feel
coming.
bad about. Yeah, sure, man.
We had Jen Bayer here too, if you didn't notice, Niels.
Sorry?
We had Jen Bayer here. You can see in the chat. She thanked for
Ah,
the overview. So
I
there
can't
were
see.
three sort of outside people
Ah, I couldn't see that. All right, slightly better then. Looked in the beginning.
Nearly a half split.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Niels.
So if nobody has anything else, we're going to close this
No.
this meeting. And I can be at work early for a change. All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Niels.
Later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Niels.
Thanks for
organizing
organizing all this.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve.
Yeah,
I need 5 minutes. Is that cool?
sure.
Thanks, man.
All right, we
Okay.
give you the room. See you later.
Well, see you later.
I know. It's like, okay.
Bye.
It's always a
Being
fun moment.
hijacked. Okay. Ciao.
How do I get out? Stop share.
Oh, let me stop the recording here.